Hello, fellow rockers on YouTube and whoever else watches. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about an album that a lot of fans hate, the band hates, the critics hated. Basically, it's one of those albums where it's the black sheep of the band's discography. This time, it's 1978's Black Sabbath Never Say Die. Great album to me. I mean, I wouldn't say it's great, but I like it a lot more than everybody else. Well, than most people, I should say. And a little bit of history on this album. Ozzy left, and he came back to record this, but while he was gone, Black Sabbath recruited a singer named Dave Walker, who was from Savoy Brown, I believe, and he was also with Fleetwood Mac. And they did one appearance together on the BBC channel, I think, and they wrote a lot. He wrote a lot of these songs. Dave Walker did, and including Junior's Eyes, but the lyrics were different, basically. And then Ozzy came back, and he would refuse to sing on any tracks that Dave wrote himself. So that's why Breakout, I guess, apparently turned into was supposed to be, a song apparently with lyrics. So he refused to sing on it. So they just made it an instrumental. And I think the one with Swinging the Chain, the one with Bill Ward on vocals. I don't know how that came about. I think maybe Ozzy was the same way. He didn't really want to sing on that one. But this is definitely the black sheep of this band's discography. It's like sort of their version of, I don't know, like say Saint Anger, or, Beat Yourself, or Skid Row. I was listening to them earlier. Subhuman Race. It pretty much killed the band, or on classic rock standards, Styx, Kilroy was here with Mr. Roboto. Seems like every famous band has one of those albums that basically breaks the band apart. And one can argue, if you don't like the Dio Black Sabbath era, which I don't know why the hell you wouldn't, this was the downfall of the band, and they never recovered from it. To me, after this album came out, they were, even now at this period, they were inconsistent. They never really recovered Son Dio, because with Dio they were great, but afterwards it's hit and miss. With Ozzy in the first 5-ish albums, perfect band, perfect record. Technical Ecstasy, which is one of my least favorite albums of their whole discography, it was like, what the fuck? And then they came out with this. It was all over the place, and then up and down, up and down, up and down. This also is, I don't know how I can say it, their most, I don't know, what's experimental record, especially the second side. So if you know this album, you know the second side. The first side's all full of great rockers and metal songs, mostly, and I love the first side. The second side is where it gets a little iffy. So yeah, it starts out obviously with Never Say Die, dun, 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 the great fucking driven riff with every other note just about was a hi-hat hit. It's a great song to play on drums. It's a great driven song. Everybody that knows this album, and even if you don't really know this album too much, if you're a Black Sabbath fan, you know that song. It was one of the singles released. Technically, there was no singles released, but Never Say Die and A Hard Road were, I guess, released as the singles, because I got the box set over there of the 45s, but they never really promoted them. But yeah, Never Say Die is one of my top 10 favorite Black Sabbath songs. It got that insane riff. It's just a really fun song to just get energized about and excited about. Just pump your fist in the air. And then I hate when they do this. A lot of these old albums, the actual track list is not in the right order. I think next is Johnny Blade. I read where this was about Geezer Butler's brother. He was a gang member back in Birmingham, and I've been to Birmingham. It's definitely a rough city in the some areas. And yeah, basically it talks about the story of his brother. Don't you mess with Johnny Blade, he'll cut you down to size, or whatever. I haven't the lyrics forever, but Johnny Blade. But yeah, it has a good drum beat to it. It has that drum beat to it, and it's just a good song. It's a fun song to sing along with. He's the meanest guy around. He'll cut you down, Johnny Blade. I like how Ozzy says that, Johnny Blade. I can't sing for shit, but it's a cool song. Junior's Eyes was rewritten after Dave Walker left, and it was about Ozzy's father, who just recently died a year before. And it has a cool beat, and the bass boom, 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 boom. And it's a very depressing song, but it's really good. Talks about the kid losing his father and being depressed, and how his best friend, basically his father, dies. I mean, it's the lyrics are depressing, but the song's really good. It's one of my favorites off the album, and it's a very personal song to Ozzy Osbourne. And I think they played this one time. I looked on the setlist.fm, and they played it once in 1978, the tour of this album. That's it. And it also said they only played Never Say Die, the title track, and I think Shockwave, which is one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs, also a few times from that tour only. No other fucking time ever, which surprised the shit out of me. But so this is the least played Black Sabbath album live. Go figure. And the next one is A Hard Road, which is a cool driven song. Always a hard road. Why can't we be friends? I don't remember all the songs because I haven't fucking listened to it forever. But I think it's a song basically how the band were at the time. Fighting with each other, couldn't get along half the time, and they were recording this from different locations. Carry your own load. It's a hard road. So basically, it's basically I think a cry to the band members how they don't like each other, and or to Ozzy, because I was reading in Tony Iommi's book how Ozzy would never fucking show up on time to record shit. He'd be asked Tony Iommi, "What did you write me to sing?" Basically. So I think it was I don't know if it was written about that experience, but if you look at the lyrics, it's talking about brothers fighting, carry your own weight, basically. And it's also the only song where Geezer and Tony Iommi have actually sung backup for of their whole discography. And if you ever watch them live, or even without Ozzy, anything, they never sing backup vocals. I saw them; they've never sang backup vocals, even with Dio. So it's very interesting. So you hear the gang vocal in the background, and I do like the song. It's a good guitar-driven song, and I think it's pretty. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a highlight. The whole first half of the highlight of this album. And the next side kicks off with Shockwave, one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs that was not popular and never released as a single, but it was played live, surprisingly, about 15 times or so. And it talks about like a demonic possession. At first, when I was listening to it, I thought it might have been like you're dying and you see the light, but no, it's Geezer Butler said it's about demonic possession. It has that similar driving riff to like Never Say Die, and maybe even A Hard Road. But the lyrics are what really, I guess, makes it good, because it's talking about like evil hanging over you. How's it go? Forces from another world, ghostly shadows fill your mind, evil hanging over you. And then it's like, something is calling, someone is near, your body is falling with fear. Don't look behind you, or look behind you. It's just a good song. It has that good riff into it, like driving riff, like Never Say Die has. And it's easily top 20 my favorite Black Sabbath songs. A lot of people don't like it, but it should have been released as a single and played more. That's just my opinion. Now it gets into the fucking experimental part of this album. I think Air Dance is next. And oh my god, this song. At first I didn't like it. And it's grown on me a little bit, and then a little bit more. And then it's kind of genius, because it starts out like slow, and it talks about this old woman's dying, and she's looking back on it and wanting to be a dancer and all that. And she was a queen of dance. Yeah, I forget how the fucking lyrics go, but but yeah, it's just like it starts out. And she danced the night away, and it's like this piano, a jazzy guitar. It's really fucking weird, and it's nothing like they've ever done before, really, or since, to be honest. And it starts out like soft and slow. How Ozzy sings the song, and there's not a lot of lyrics in it, and then it's like, she was a queen of dance, she danced the night away, and then it's like piano driven, and then in the middle has like after the lyrics, then it kicks into this like jazzy, almost like Santana-esque type of instrumental, and it fades out at the end. And it has like piano, and it's really weird. But when you look at it as a whole, it's like, damn, this is fucking amazing how they were able to pull this off. And it's Bill Ward's one of his favorite songs from the album. He said he really liked that track, and I can see why. It definitely stands out. And honestly, the hidden gem of this album probably is Air Dance, and one of their most under appreciated songs, just because how the structure is really fucking weird. Over to You is sort of similar. It doesn't have the piano or the jazzy stuff to it really, but it has that same tempo, like slower-esque, moody song. And I think it's more about politicians and war, and sort of like War Pigs, but how you can't trust politicians. Like, it's like, I handed my future over to you. Dun, 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 dun. What can I do? Dun, 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 dun. It's a good song. It's not like a great song or anything. Then it's like talks about these politicians, and handed their children over to them because they promised all these dreams, but of course they never deliver. And endless wondering, what can I do with my life, sort of like me, because I have no fucking idea. And yeah, it's basically how they promised a better life, better future, but of course they never promise anything, and it's all lies. But it's a good song. You handed my future over to you. What can I do? Future is blue. Yeah, it's a decent song, but the lyrics are the highlight of that song. And then next is weirdest breakout. Is like a really short jazzy instrumental. Like I said, Ozzy refused to sing on it. I don't know. It's really weird. It could be thrown out if you ask me. And the last one could also be thrown out. It has a good groove. It's called Swinging the Chain, which they never say in the song, and it's Bill Ward singing. And I think it must have been another one that Dave Walker wrote, and Ozzy wouldn't sing, so Bill Ward sung on it. And I didn't like Technical Ecstasy, excuse me, but I did like It's Alright. It's one of the highlights of the album. Bill Ward sung on it, and it's a great song. It's better than Alright. It's pretty damn good. But this one, I don't know, it has a good driving riff like most of the songs do on here, but I don't know. It just, to me, it's filler. There's no highlight of the song, but it ends the song on the sad note, the last two tracks. But aside from that, there's all the rest of the songs have either the music is good driven music, or the lyrics, or both. But the last two, Breakout and Swinging the Chain, just not for me. So that's basically Never Say Die, my crazy, shitty reviews that I do. I'm not good at doing reviews, but I did the best I can with this one because it's really a hard album to review, especially with my ADD, but I try my best. But yeah, it's like their black sheep of their discography, and not a lot of people like it. The band don't like it. I think they also said that production sucks on it, which isn't that great. And they recorded it from different rooms, a lot of the songs, so they weren't around and they were fighting, so they did the best they could, they said, and I agree. I think it's pretty good. I think it's the middle of the road Black Sabbath album. I think there's at least 2, maybe 3 Ozzy albums that I like less than this, so I like it more than most. But that's my review on Never Say Die. This is the original pressing, probably bought in the same day or same week in 1978 as my dad's pressing, or dad's album that he never uses, so whatever. I have a CD myself, but this is the original. So let me know what you think of that Black Sabbath Never Say Die. What's your favorite track? What's your favorite Sabbath song? I want to do a Black Sabbath discography ranking, which will be impossible. I have the top 3, but the rest I have no fucking clue, because it could be any order. But again, please subscribe. This is just me talking to you. I don't rehearse. I just, boom, go, push the button and go. And one metalhead to all the others out there watching. Please subscribe. Once again, I'll put a link in of a former video right here at the end, so you can check out if you want. And as always, keep on rocking.